Welcome everyone to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Sixth Iteration by E. Hughes. When scientist Stella Andrews meets Randall Reid of Reid Robotics, she falls head over heels at first sight, but Randall is all business and prefers to focus on the task at hand, programming R1, a sentient AI program for the MEO Project that has fallen in love with Stella. Various machinations occur that leads to R1 escaping its digital confinement into the real world to be with the woman it loves. Stella soon learns not everyone is who they appear to be, and the only one not in on the company's secrets is her.
So secrets and mystery. And robots? Or cyborgs?
And robots and romance and love.
Yeah. How does that happen? It's like RoboCop falling in love with...
I know. I was super excited about this one just because I like science fiction and I love romance. And I thought, ooh, nice. This is going to pair well together.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, MEO, what is that?
Mechanically enhanced organisms.
Yeah. So it's not a robot. Yeah, it's mentioned in the intro. There's a lot of mystery in this, and
I mean, it honestly starts off like your typical romance where there's this scientist and she's expecting someone from this corporation to come that she has like no even knowledge of. It's like robotics and math, and she's like, I don't do that. I do people.
It's R&R Technologies. Who's gonna go see her? And she's an anthropologist, which I guess a study of people, a study of their languages.
Yeah, so she's like, what do these robotics people want to do with me? But she's like hard at work, and then all of a sudden, this extremely handsome man just comes into her life, and literally just like comes in, talks to her like the world hasn't just shifted below her from his presence, and then just goes off.
Yeah, it's like every time she sees him, like if this was a TV show or a movie, you would see like little hearts coming out of her head.
Oh, so cute.
And she's like, oh my god, like, don't fall, don't look dumb. Like,
I know, I'm all sweaty and stuff.
It's like palms are sweaty, my heart beats. Oh my god.
I know, it was definitely like, it started off as your typical romance. And then pretty quickly I felt like it turned more the sci-fi situation, right? Yeah. We get to meet more of the robots or our...
cyborgs.
Yeah.
MEOs.
But they're not cyborgs yet. They're still...
There's R4.
Like, there's R4.
And then there's the one that falls in love with her, which is...
It's the one where he doesn't have speech or a body. He just is basically an AI into the mainframe. So he only types stuff out on a screen. Yeah. I just thought about this now. So basically they were like pen pals because they didn't really actually talk to one another. They were just like texting back and forth or writing back and forth to each other.
Yeah, and it was like flirtatious and at the same time like insulting, but in a kidding kind of way, right? Like he would make fun of her. They would play games, and he would joke around.
Yeah, and mess with her and poke fun at her and stuff.
So I'm gonna read a quote on the book on where Dr. Andrews' first impression of Randall. He was broad-shouldered with brown wavy hair that curled at the ends, which he wore swept to the side away from his chiseled face. The dark stranger stood about 5'11" to 6 feet tall, with serious brown eyes that looked hazel under the light, rendered utterly speechless by his ethereal presence. I finally stammered my way through an introduction as Randall Reid patiently waited for me to get my bearings. Who notices all of that?
Girls.
First impression, first meeting, gonna be offered a job, and she's just checking this dude out.
Well, listen, she even said so herself. She's been like cooped up, just doing all her science stuff for like years. So, you know, sorry that somebody comes into her life who's just extremely handsome, and she's like, whoa. Wasn't expecting you today because I'm usually just stuck in my paperwork and on my crappy computers.
Yeah, and doesn't she like stumble and drop some papers and he's just there waiting for her as she's like clumsily picking things up?
Yeah.
And then there's other moments where he just like, come on, let's take a walk to the beach, and she's like, oh my god, what's he gonna ask? What's he gonna do? He's in my room. And he's just all business.
Yeah, all the time. He's just straight to the point. I need to give you some facts. This stuff is classified. Don't even try to talk to people about it because there's going to be spies everywhere. I really like that aspect too. It's like this small little island that they're on or little town or something, and everybody pretty much knows everyone, especially if they've been there for quite some time. And like, I don't know, be wary of the people that you know, but also the people that you don't know. It's kind of intense.
Yeah.
You don't know who's who or why they're there, what's their reasoning, if it's true or not. I like that.
Like even the janitors, there's construction people because they're upgrading the lab, and even they're after hours, like, why are you here? Or people that she meets at a party. What's that place that she's staying at?
Mrs. Nottingham's Oceanside Inn.
Yeah, even that lady. She likes to have dinner parties and just talk.
Oh, that older lady? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like she's trying to get all this information from me. Like, why are you here? Who are you dating? Who are you dating? This Randall guy? Oh my God, Randall, what are you doing?
But that's normal
she
with
tries to
older
flirt
ladies.
with him, and he just ignores her, and she eventually, good thing, like, thank God, she moves on.
No, that's normal with older ladies. They just want to know everybody's business. I mean, that's just because they're old and stuff.
Yeah, and talking about that construction. Yeah, so she's worked at this university for the longest time as a lead researcher. And one day she shows up to work after signing this contract, and they're just like completely demolishing her lab, her office, redoing everything overnight.
Can you imagine? I feel like I'm not a scientist, but I'd imagine someone being like, my everything, my whole life's work, and like all of my tools, and even though they were upgrading everything, which was probably for the best. And I doubt they deleted any of her stuff. But I mean, to come to it and be like, oh my God, as if none of it mattered.
Yeah, she was kind of like, what are you guys doing? Like,
could have at least given me a second.
Yeah, like even if this is like for the new job, I am the lead on it.
Yeah.
I sign things off. And then Randall comes by, no you don't.
You just need to know about what we're doing. You don't have a say in what we're doing.
Yeah, so he's Randall Reid. And the owner is Dr. Victor Reid. Relation? You don't know? Even Dr. Andrews asked.
Yeah, Randall kind of mentioned that they are somehow related, but he doesn't say exactly how.
Yeah, he mentioned it very quick and then just moved on.
Yeah.
Like, even him, like, who is this guy?
I know, he's very, like, he'll give you a quick answer just to answer whatever it is you asked, and he'll move on. And it's, I don't know, I feel like they're always, like, really abrupt answers.
Talking about, like, the mystery thriller, there's also another group. It's like a side story, it seems like, with this not retired ballerina, but she got injured, right?
Dude, that was terrible.
Ooh, Sapphire.
During, what was it,
it was practicing for a big performance where she was the lead.
Yeah, it was a rehearsal. She was doing her thing, and someone who was her rival trips her or something, makes something happen to where she really injures herself. So now basically she's in the hospital. She's unable to do ballet or to like move at all. Anything. And so she's just helpless, and I think she really needed this job.
Yeah, so she's hospitalized and bedridden for
a while.
And this person, she wakes up one day and this lady just in her room.
Yeah, some crazy lady that she's never met before is just sitting in her room and gives her basically an ultimatum, like just basically blackmails her, just like, you're either going to help me and be repaid well, or you're not going to help me and you're just going to go to like hell, you know?
Yeah.
Like your life's going to amount to nothing and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Gives her no option. So she's like, okay, I guess I'm going to do whatever it is you asked me to because I need that money and
you're going to kill
whatever
me
you're offering. She's like, let's cut to the chase. You're going to do this whether you want to or not.
Yeah, and her name is Tennessee Jenkins.
I really like her. Like, I'm making fun of her, but I was kind of like, oh, I like this lady. She don't mess around. And she's kind of funny.
Yeah, funny, scary.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that's a side story, because apparently Dr. Reid, the owner of this corporation, is a big fan. But apparently they're using that kind of like as a way for her to get in closer, right? Because she's involved. Tennessee Jenkins seems to be like a spy or a competitor that wants to learn more about this MEO project and I guess steal the technology. So that's like a side story happening aside from Dr. Andrews and her research.
Well, I think because the work that, the Reid Robotics is doing is like pretty important. There's if they create this AI, so their whole objective is to create basically a sentient but not too sentient robot, or I'm sorry, AI, and that's going to help with so many things in the world as long as they can control them, right?
Yeah, because they do have a kill switch just in case they get too aware and start becoming free and doing whatever they want.
Having free will, yeah.
And that's why he said not too sentient. as Randall always tells Dr. Andrews.
Yeah, so for a while, I kind of almost felt a little lost as to why they needed her. But then it made sense when she started to have more talks with the mainframe, the R1836.
Mm-hmm.
It made more sense because the discussions that they were having, I was like, oh, these are more like in-depth type of conversations. Like they talk about the soul, they talk about language and thought and love and all kinds of things. And the responses that, the AI gives her are, I felt, were pretty profound, even if he just gathered all this information from information that he already has. I felt like they had feeling in them.
Yeah.
All right, guys, make sure to check out 6th Iteration by E. Hughes.